and he is Tim Baker, and Tim is running for the office of Franklin County Clerk on the August 7th Republican primary ballot. First of all, good morning, Tim. Welcome.
Good morning, Diane. Thank you very much for having me this morning.
So first we start out with you telling the listeners a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you've done, leading up to your decision to seek the office of Franklin County Clerk.
Well, again, my name is Tim Baker, and I'm a lifelong resident of Franklin County. Grew up in the Pacific area. We have a Century Farm down in the Pacific area. My great-grandfather bought it in 1870, and I'm a graduate of Pacific High School, went to East Central, received my associate's degree in business management, excuse me, then went down to Missouri Southern in Joplin and received my bachelor's of science in speech communication. My family owned a manufacturing facility in Pacific called Baker's Ice, which I helped run and operate for over 25 years. And every aspect of the job, from scrubbing toilets to fixing machines to delivering ice. But my primary job for over 25 years was payable, receivables, and HR with our company. I've been married for 24 years to my lovely wife of Debbie Mundwiller of Union, who's also a lifelong resident. We have 4 daughters. During the campaign season, we refer to them as 1, 2, 3, and 4, but it's Patricia, Madeline, Gabby, and Paige. Trish just graduated from college. We have Maddie in college, and the other 2 are currently in Merrimack Valley right now. Giving back to the community is something that I was brought up doing, and I am very active in our whole community, not just the Merrimack Valley area, but all of Franklin County. Currently, I serve as Vice President of the Chamber of Commerce in St. Clair. I serve on the Graces Place Board. I'm currently serving my second elected term on the Mizzou Extension. I serve on the ECC Foundation Board, and I am president of our Tri-County Senior Center. And then one other thing that I was just elected to, I've been a member of the Bankstar Board in Pacific for 6 years, and last year I was elected to be their chairman of the board of the bank.
So, now what made you decide to seek the office and run for the office of Franklin County Clerk?
Well, living in unincorporated Franklin County, the county is my government, and I have a passion for our government, and I just have a passion for good government, and I only want that for our citizens. I have no agenda. My skill set with what I've done in my life, the clerk's office is a great fit for me. The clerk is best known for being the chief election officer of the county, but there's only one election in odd years, so next year there's only one election. So what does the clerk do the rest of the time? Well, the clerk actually is in charge of all the payables, receivables, and HR for the county, which is exactly what I've done for the last 25 years. They also do the minutes for the commission meetings. They also handle any kind of sunshine requests that you would have, and those are the primary duties of the clerk's office.
If you were to be elected, Tim Baker, running for the office of county clerk, are there any ideas or plans that you would like to implement in the county clerk's office if you were to be elected?
Yes. One of the things that I would like to do is the meetings are at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I've been to meetings quite a bit since we sold our plant, just to see how everything works over the last 6 years. And it's usually the same 2 or 3 people that show up other than elected officials. And I know that night meetings have been talked about numerous times, but there's always the where do you have it if you moved it around the county, or would you have the same attendance? I've heard the comment, been there, done that. But putting it online. The county has a brand new website that they spent quite a bit of money on 2 years ago, and there is a capability of putting that online to where citizens can actually see exactly what happens with their government, and it would also help keep our government transparent and open, which is what I would like to see done. Also, I'm really big in getting out and just talking to people. Going door to door, the amount of questions that you get asked is unbelievable. 90% of them have nothing to do with the job you're seeking, but people want to know. And I'm very big about wanting to get out into the schools. I've talked to almost all the superintendents in the district of how do I get into the schools to talk to them, and possibly inviting other elected officials to come and talk to them about what exactly we do at the county and how it affects you, especially voting. Voting is so crucial. In the last April election, 21% of 64,000 people showed up to vote. And usually the April election is probably just as critical, if not more, because that's when your municipality elections are, your school board elections, your fire boards, your ambulance boards. Every major thing that you can think of usually happens in April, and it's usually one of the lowest turnouts. So just getting out there and talking to students, to seniors, to any civic organization, being present. This is not my first time running for office, and you constantly hear the same thing is, man, we only see you guys during election cycles, especially at picnics. Well, that's not true, because I personally like to eat chicken, so we go to a lot of functions all the time. So we've been going ever since we retired from selling our company, just because we have enjoyed it. Our families have enjoyed it. There's great picnics out there that with great people, but everybody asks a lot of questions. And one other thing that I like being able to do, because of my contacts that I have, being active in the community that I am, I know who most of the state reps are. I have their cell phone numbers. I have a means of getting a hold of them. And as an elected official, sometimes you need that roadmap that people don't have. You go to ask one thing and they lead you down another road. Well, if I'm out and about and somebody asks me something about Social Security and they want to know who to talk to, well, I ask them first off, where do they live? And if I know their state rep, I'll say, well, this is your state rep. This is who you need to contact, and contact their office and have their number for them. People are just amazed by that people would be willing to offer that information, because, again, we work for citizens as elected officials, not the other way around.
And elections, of course, that's one of many roles of the county collector, and they are by nature highly partisan contests. I mean, that's what they are. If elected, how would you personally handle situations which would involve a candidate or issue which you strongly oppose, or, for that matter, which you strongly support?
Well, that's a great question, and you just have to go in and do your job. You have to not show favoritism either way. You are entitled to your opinion, as anybody does. But I think whenever, especially if you're the chief election officer, you have to toe a different line, just like a judge. You have to be impartial, and you have to know, just like whenever I go out and talk to the seniors at the senior centers, I told them, my job when I come in to talk to you is to tell you what's on the ballot. My job is not to tell you how to vote. I'm just to explain to you what's on there, because one thing that's very frustrating to me is the vote yes to vote no and vote no to vote yes. Those are very confusing, and people always get tied up by them. So my job would strictly be to just lay the information out and keep my nose to the grindstone and just keep working.
And the closing argument here, why should voters elect you, Tim Baker, to be the Franklin County Clerk?
Well, this is my home. This is where I see my past, present, and future, and my passion is by far my greatest strength. As we stated, the clerk's office is just more than being the chief election officer. It is about the payables, receivables, and HR, which I have 25 years of experience. The county is losing 4 elected officials this year with quite a bit of experience, but also I want people to remember that there's a great team of 11 people that work in that office that have over 75 years of experience. So by going in, anybody is going to have a learning curve, and if they tell you different, they're telling you wrong, because every job is different. But with that kind of experience, I know with my background, we'll be able to make the county not miss a beat and continue to move forward.
And how can people find out more about your campaign?
They can find out our campaign. We have a Facebook page. It's Baker, the number 4 clerk on Facebook. My email address is Baker, number 4 clerk, at yahoo.com, or they can reach me on my cell phone at 636-575-9609. And if I don't answer, please leave a message. I will return calls.
All right, thank you so much, Tim Baker. He is running for the office of Franklin County Clerk on the August 7th Republican primary ballot. Thank you so much, and best of luck with the remainder of your campaign.
Thank you very much.